Toastmasters, and thank you very much. I think Sandeep said that, or someone, my evaluator said the same thing last time, is take your feedback and apply it to the next speech, which I didn't do, because the last feedback, I remember people saying you have to be prepared more. And you see, on Sunday, I got an email from Devinder saying, you have a speech on Tuesday. I'm like, right. So I started preparing right then and there. You see, I'm so eager to do speeches that I volunteer all the time without thinking or looking at my schedule first. Last time I explained that it was the busiest week of my year. And last week, I was in Florida bathing in the sun. So the last thing I was thinking about was preparing for a speech. But I'm here, and I thought I'd speak about a very exciting topic that I'm excited about, which is our future. I listen to many great innovators, such as Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Peter Diamandis. And we have come so far in the past century, and we have so much more to come in the near future. For goodness sakes, we sent a Tesla Roadster to outer space. How cool is that? But if you listen to the news, especially at CNN, which I like to call Crisis News Network, it's no wonder why people are so pessimistic about our future. All you ever hear about is terrorism, shootings in schools, natural disasters, cyber attacks, market crashes, death, disaster. Can you blame them? The news constantly feeds us negative stories because that's what our mind pays attention to. You see, we have a part of our brain called the amygdala, which is our early warning detector. It sorts through all the information that we are processing and is looking out for anything in the environment that might harm us. So this is what gave our ancestors the ability to sense danger in the bushes when maybe there's a saber-toothed tiger there or something. So given many news stories, we'll always pay closer attention to the negative ones. It's no wonder why people think our world's getting worse. But perhaps that's not the case. The future is something that we should be excited about. So let's look what the last century has been to see where we are going. In the last century, the average human lifespan has doubled. Average income per capita with inflation has tripled. Childhood mortality has come down 10 times. Cost of food down by 10 times, electricity 20, transportation 100 times, cost of communications down by 1,000 times. And according to Steve Pinker, we are living in the most peaceful time ever in human history. According to Charles Kenny, global literacy has gone up from 25 to 80% in the past 130 years. We truly are living in an extraordinary time, and most people forget about this. We keep setting our expectations higher and higher. If you think of this, in North America today, people who are living in poverty, most of them or all of them have electricity, water, toilets, refrigerators, televisions, mobile phones. Most of them have cars and air conditioning. The wealthiest people over 100 years ago couldn't imagine having such luxuries. And most of this is from technology. See, the phones that we have here today are 1 million times cheaper and 1,000 times faster than the supercomputers of the 1970s. It's fascinating. And some of the technologies that we have coming our way, like robotics and 3D printing, digital medicine. Imagine coughing into your phone and getting a diagnosis. Infinite computing, nanomaterials, AI. When we think of the future of abundance, it's not so much about living a life of luxury, but more about the possibilities. It's taking what's scarce and making it abundant. And I have a great example of this. Napoleon III, back in the 1800s, he invited for dinner the king of Siam. And he fed his men silver utensils. He fed himself with gold utensils. Do you know what he gave the king of Siam to use? Anyone have a guess? Aluminum. Aluminum was the most precious, most valuable metal in the world. More valuable than gold or platinum. It's the reason why the tip of the Washington Monument is made out of aluminum. You see, even though aluminum is 8% of the earth by mass, it doesn't come as a pure metal. It's all bound by oxygen and silicon. But then technology of electrolysis came along and made aluminum so common that we just throw it out after each use. So what if we project this same analogy going forward with solar energy and water scarcity? Our planet is bathed with more solar power than we'll ever need each day. And we are developing more and more ways to harness solar power energy at a cheaper cost than gas. We also have abundance of water. Our planet is made up of 70% of water. Of course, over 90% of that is salt water. But there's technology out there today, not 20 years, not 10 years from now, but today, that can convert salt water to fresh, drinkable water. There's a company called Slingshot that's doing this right now. So it's not so much about scarcity, it's about accessibility. But the biggest force in bringing abundance to our future is the accessibility of the internet to so many more people. In 2000, when the population was at 6 billion, about 6% of the population had access to the internet. In 2010, when our population was just under 7 billion, about 23%, or just under 2 billion people, had access to the internet. By 2020, there was 66%, or 5 billion people, online. That's 3 billion new minds from 2010 to 2020 who have never had voices heard in the past will now be connecting to the global economy. That's a huge injection of minds into the economy to help with our grand challenges. We are in for an exciting future in the decades ahead. Thank you.